Hey, this is Dan with Guardian Mold Prevent, and I wanted to look with you at a basement located in Hickory Hills, Illinois. And as we pan around this basement, I want you to notice that by and large, it looks like everything is very clean down here, and it doesn't appear to be a mold problem. But as we pan around and we look at some different areas, you can see that some trim has been pulled back in this basement, and right behind the baseboard, it appears that there's some mold growth that has developed, 2.5 to 3 inches from the floor up. Now, this is very typical in a basement when it takes on water, that areas like behind baseboards or behind paneling will get quite a bit of mold growth. Now, I want you to look in this area here. Everything looks very clean. Doesn't appear to be a mold problem at all. The paint is clean. The trim doesn't appear to be stained. There doesn't appear to be any mold growing on this finished side. And as you bear with me and we walk around now to the other side of that finished wall and we look down into the bottom of the utility closet, you'll see that the unfinished the unfinished side of that basement or that wall has got definite mold growth on it. This is very typical in a basement, so we wanted to do this video to show you that you can have mold in hidden areas of your basement. Now, in terms of how we approach a project, the first thing we do is break down materials in the basement into 3 categories. First being porous, so your drywall, trim, insulation, those types of materials. And then semi-porous, which is the wood framing members that make up the framing of your basement. And then non-porous materials are the concrete products, which are basically the foundation, walls, and floor. Once we've identified those types of material, we then break everything down in terms of a scope of work. We put up containment to keep the space contained from the rest of the living space. We then install air scrubbers or a negative air machine to make sure that we're running all the air through HEPA filtration. And then we remove and discard all the porous material. So in a basement like this, what we would do is remove the drywall, trim and insulation, bathroom vanity, etc. from the ground up about 4 foot throughout. And then we scrub down all of the exposed non-porous and semi-porous materials with a biocide and physically scrub those surfaces, and then we treat them with an acrylic-based mold-resistant coating. Now we'll look at a finished project. Granted, this is not the same basement we were looking at, but this is what it will look like when it is finished. We remove all of that porous material, so the drywall, trim, and insulation has all been pulled out here. We then physically scrub down the semi-porous and non-porous surfaces, so your concrete and your framing are all scrubbed down with that biocide, and then treated with the mold-resistant coating. That coating does come with a manufacturer's warranty that it won't support mold growth on the applied coating surface. So when we're finished, you're going to have all clean exposed surfaces. We also wipe down with a biocide all the remaining finished surfaces of the basement. I want you to note, though, that it's not just the surfaces that we worry about. We also worry about the unseen, and that's your air quality. This is something that a unqualified contractor will not be able to address, but a certified and insured mold remediation firm will make sure that when we pull out of the project, not only are the surfaces acceptable, but the air quality is restored.